Get a roll of pennies, shove some 3-inch nails through them, get yourself a Hello Daisy.
Hard work.
Good morning, everybody. You're listening to the Warm Up Podcast. I'm your goofy host, Lou Michael, semi-pro stand-up comic, working on becoming a pro. A little bit more every day. We are driving to the gymnasium to get a chest workout in today because chest day, best day, and we're going to have fun with it, you know? What kind of exercises we're going to do? I don't know. We're just shooting from the hip. I really messed up my rotator cuff, and I feel like if I were to push through it, I might rip something. And I've already torn up a tendon before, and I never, ever want to do that again. So, take a little easy, maybe do some lightweight, you know, make it all lightweight today, but for real, and maybe focus on cardio. Boo cardio. It is a sleepy, rainy day here in mid-Michigan. 41 degrees, feeling large and in charge. Not at all. Today's pre-workout in a can put there by a man. I goofed. Didn't pick up a pre-workout for the episode and just kind of in general don't have any pre-workouts on hand at the old fortress. So what did I grab? Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to pre-workout with Waterloo sparkling water, ginger citrus twist. It's an effervescent drink, sparkling waters to the layman. But anyways, I'm hoping that the creature comfort of drinking a bubbly drink on the way to the gym is enough to kind of get something going. And then we're going to get just a horse, I guess it wouldn't be a tranquilizer's dose, but a horse uppers dose. Do we ever fucking give horses amphetamines? That's how you win a race. Fuck blood doping. Hey Lou, who do you have 20 on in the next race? What would be a good upper? Amphetamine. Coming in first by a mile, amphetamine. Followed way back. In the way back, we've got old ketamine. Two horsies. The horsey race that has two horsies, amphetamine and ketamine. They're brothers. They clippity-clop around all the time. They love each other. All right, that's enough horse race jokes. Let's just get into this. There's zero caffeine, 0 calories, natural flavoring. Don't know how they do that without any calories, but what do I know? I'm not a flavor scientist, which is an actual thing. 0 sugar, 0 calories. They just keep saying that all around the can. More like 0 fun. I actually love these things, but all right. Y'all know, let's go for it. First sip. Oh yeah, it's got all the bubbles. Good flavor. The ginger citrus twist. This is something, I don't know if you're going to want a pre-workout again, but on drinkability, let's slide the scale down because it's not necessarily as a pre-workout, I don't know, 2 sit-up, maybe 1 sit-up out of 5. Don't want a pre-workout again. Here's the thing, but let's slide the scale now. Drinkability, I'm going to give this thing on the season 2 harsh scale rating, this is a 3.8, possibly 3.9 if not breaking into the 4.0 sit-ups out of 5 for drinkability. Delicious. Let's say you're a glutton, right? You're just a glutton for the sport of eating, you know? You're a professional smasher of food, and you're like, oh, I couldn't possibly. And you don't want to Alka-Seltzer up or drug up the old intestines. Grab one of these bad boys. Oh yeah, delightful bubbles. Hints of the ginger citrus all the way in the back 9. You know, not the front course where your heavy tasters are. You're tasting with your nose on something like this because it's got such minimal flavor. But all right. That's enough of that. Look at this. We got an unfinished one. A Polar Seltzer Ginger Lime Mule from the other night. Though it's lost its effervescence, it's still the perfect amount of cold for a drive. All right, gang. Anyway, I'm feeling a little bit lower energy today. Just finished up all the March shows and started off. Is it the second? I have no idea what day of the week it is right now. It is the second. Started off the month, April Fool's Day. Ended up subbing in, hosting at an open mic I love. But had to deal with, like, for the first time in a long time, combative hecklers at a comedy show. And there's a difference between, like, verbal hecklers who are just there to yell and, like, you know, kind of cause a scene in, like, a juvenile heckling way. And like, that sucks, but at least it's like within the realm of comedy. Now, last night definitely had some Roadhouse vibes where, you know, these dudes, one in particular was looking for a fight, and I'm not a fighter. I hate that energy, you know, especially if you're at a fucking comedy event. And open mics at bars, you're gonna get what you're gonna get, but this guy was just kind of yelling, looking for a problem, and I've got my injured knee still. I don't really tussle that much right now, but I'm starting to feel, you know, I'll stand my ground without a pistol, which is another thing. I don't like fighting in public in our country because I'm like, you never know who's strapped either. I'm like, also, if a drunk guy's an asshole and he's got a gun, I'm like, hey, he might just be the trifecta of shitbags, and, you know, I'm not trying to deal with that. So anyways, this guy was looking for a problem, but the few times a few other comics, Big Will Green, which if you don't know Big Will Green, my guy is dairy-fed, Michigan strong. He's a big man, which despite all the fighting tactics of the world, and like Krav Maga and Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, which is close to my heart, I love BJJ, blowjob job, you know, all that stuff, and good fighting styles. I agree that learning to fight and martial arts are to some degree an equalizer in hand-to-hand combat, but every now and again you just see a dude who kind of looks like the Mountain from Game of Thrones. And Big Will Green, he's not 6'8" Bjorg Jorgforg or whatever the Icelandic giant's name is, but he's in the category of beginning that level of body. And every now and again I'm like, yeah, I don't really know what martial art you know, but like, it's like that old Bruce Lee thing where I'm like, yeah, the Mountain could just grab him by the head and crush his skull. Every now and again, the good Lord, before firearms or ranged weapons were a thing, just made a Goliath where I'm like, yeah, he should learn to fight, but honestly, if he just gets a hold of you and squeezes, you're fucked. And so this little chirpy dude was chirping at Will, which I'm like, that's not great. But he backed off, and then I went up later and just talked to him, and I tried to be amicable, but if you're sober, kind of, I don't want to say it was an argument, but even just directly talking to somebody who's like drunk and looking for a problem, it's not a conversation, you know. It's definitely not an argument. It's a one-way talking to with aggression back, and trying to appeal to somebody's good nature when they're drunk and angry is just kind of like, nah, it doesn't really work all the time. So I pretty honestly and directly let him know, I'm like, hey, we're gonna need you to be quiet or stop heckling, or, you know, we're gonna have a problem. And I don't know, he kept talking about how he barks, which I thought was hilarious. He's like, I bark, dude. I'm like, you literally do. You're just being loud. I think the term you're looking for is bite, dumbass. Say I bite, I'd be like, okay, I guess he's gonna fight. But then the other thing is, like, he would talk shit and I would stand my ground, and he would like back up after he was talking shit, and he wouldn't make eye contact with me. I was like, dude, I watch Animal Kingdom. You look me in my eyes, you fucking pussy. You want to talk shit. Guy looking in my eyes, wanting to go, I'm like, all right, this might be on. But you're talking shit and looking away from me, I'm like, not a chance, you fucking vagina. You fucking pussy. It was like, also, he had a super long beard and long hair. I'm like, dude, I'm injured and old. And he probably was older than me, so I'm imagining he's had some injuries. But I'm like, I don't fight fair anymore if I have to. I was talking with my buddy about this. I'm like, I'll fucking rip your beard down to the ground and start feeding you something, pal. Like, what are you talking about? A gentleman's duel? Fuck that. Yeah, I hate that so much, dude. If you're gonna get in a scrap, like, for real. And the other thing is, I'm like, I don't want to fucking do this. So if it ever got to that point, I'd be like, yeah, I'm gonna pull your beard and long hair and probably try and rip your testicles off like a chimpanzee. How's that for a martial art? Like, what have you been working on, Lou? Eye gouging and testicle ripping. You know, real ape shit. That's my martial art. I just toss on the animal, what is it, the Animal Planet. I watch I toss on Animal Planet and watch chimpanzees rip off each other's testicles. I'm like, looks pretty effective. That little one made that big one shut up with that maneuver. That's I think that's what I'll go with. Because honestly, I'm like, nah, dude. But I don't know. He kept kind of backing up. And then he had like a cohort. There was like a drunk, evil, another comic, name drop, Blaine Hill, who's hilarious and is headlining Mark Ridley's Comedy Castle 4th of July weekend. Get your tickets now. But yeah, Blaine Hill like pointed out, they kind of seemed like quintessential like movie douche villains, you know, like at a bar. They was cartoonishly douchey. And to the point where like, I don't know, two of the lesser guys were like fucking off, and I always know when like the littler guys are like, I don't really know him that well. I'm like, all right, you're a fucking pussy. Like, probably gonna hit me with a pool cue if I'm not watching you. And then some other guy, loudmouth, starts like mouthing off. He's like, oh, they're just talking about us playing pool and fucking shit. And like, I get into a discussion with him, and I'm like, listen, man, we don't really care that you're playing pool. Like, that sucks at a comedy show. But you're drunk, you don't really have common sense about you. But then when I told him, like, yeah, we don't care about you playing, just be quiet. And I couldn't believe it. And getting through to him, he's like, oh, we just gotta, like, stop talking? It's like, yes, that would be ideal for the show. Your fucking voices carry. I know you don't know that because you're absolutely hammered. But yeah, and I couldn't believe it. That guy, like, who actually, I will say this, wasn't backing off and was locking eyes. I'm like, gosh, shit, this might be, here's to you, Johnny Mockey. That might have been the guy to take the shot, slam it down upside down. That was the guy I was like, oh shit, pink hoodie wants to scrap. Old Beardy's all talk, pink hoodie. Guy in a pink hoodie in public hammered. I'm like, he might actually be down to scrap because he knows what he's doing and he don't give a fuck. So anyways, but what I loved is he fucking got it. And he was like, guys, we just got to be quiet. I'm like, oh, yes, thank you. Fuck, man. It's like heckling, again, verbal heckling sucks, but it's whatever. You know, I understand that it's part of doing stand-up, and if you ever think you're helping the show, you're not. If a good comic makes hilarious jokes out of you heckling, it just means they're a better comic than you were a heckler. But it, you know, talking to other comics about it, it's like, yeah, to have fun and a good time at a stand-up comedy show, everybody has to be in the mindset like, hey, we're gonna have some fun, or at least there's the expectation of fun. But like having the front half of the room feel that way, and then just fucking comic book supervillains in back, you know. Oh shit, there's a train literally parked on the tracks. Didn't see that. That sucks. But yeah, it's just like that energy at a mic sucks ass. And I feel bad for comics that like drive out to do that, you know? That's where the real suck assery comes from, because it's like, we're not getting paid. We need an audience to try bits. And, you know, it was raining last night. I'm like, I don't know, driving, the older I get, the more I'm like, yeah, driving at night is dangerous. Car accidents, all. So for anybody to like really fuck it up in that regard, like, kind of irks me to my core. Not a lot of things make me, like, actually angry, but, I mean, take something I care about, which is other comics and stand-up comedy, and then, like, disrespect it in a borderline violent way. I'm like, yeah, that'll get me angry. And it's so weird because I'm on stage. I try to be, like, overtly goofy, silly. I slump down. I talk in that Goofy Lou voice. Like, I'll do the goofy voice on here a lot, which I'm trying to be more not that on stage, to be real. But sometimes it's just fun to be silly and goofy. Like, albeit for me as a want to do and trying stand-up comic, to be fucking silly and goofy. You know? This isn't fucking Delta Force, dumbasses. Like, yeah, it's comedy. You know? Jesters weren't wearing camo, god damn it. Like, some can, and I don't give a fuck. Like, that's not my point I'm getting at. It's just like, you know, a serious tone in a comedic setting is like, sure, I guess, but it might suck. And that's not coming at, like, drier comedy or serious sounding comics. You know what I mean? So I'm not even going to cover my ass anymore. Not a funny episode so far. We had a few good lines in there, you know? Feel like the chimp ripping, the chimp nuts ripping. That's how you, now that's fighting in the future, dude. Roll of quarters with some nails through them. People are like, you know, brass knuckles are illegal. I'm like, I don't give a fuck. I could make 10 things in my apartment right now scarier than brass knuckles, dude. Get a roll of pennies, shove some 3-inch nails through them, get yourself a Hello Daisy. I don't know what the fuck you'd call it. Maybe my buddy has something his mom got him called snake bite. Call it a snake bite? That's so funny. You imagine if you died from nails and a roll of pennies just punching you in your fucking throat because you're being a dumbass. Yikes, dude. Anyways, so, like I was saying, that'll fire me up. That got me angry. Longer warm-up today? Tell you what, we're going to work on cooling down. Today we're going to work on cooling down. Because that guy might not kill me, but the cortisol levels and the heart attack from the stress, that'll get you, everybody. It's not some dumb, drunk bastard. Which, by the way, hilariously, after the show, evidently he's like the town menace. He kept talking about how Lansing was his town. I'm like, hey, man, respect where I'm from, but, like, if you're claiming tertiary cities, like, yo, I run this shit. Like, dude, you're such a fucking douche canoe. Like, yo, dude, you don't even know, man. Washington Ave's my shit. Like, what? Okay. Nobody cares. What are you, going to die at the tin can, you fucking idiot? But yeah, people after the show, again, I love Max, but it's not the city or the places I love. It's the people in where I'm from that rules. You know, just mostly good people, except for a few shitbags. But anyways, yeah, after the show, like, groups of different folks were like, yeah, he's been kicked out of, like, this place and this place. I'm like, oh, okay, so this is like a known douche. I'm like, oh yeah, Lansing's your town? Well, evidently you're the fucking village idiot moron. Anyways, I don't know. If I cross paths with him again, hopefully he's sober, and hopefully they're going to be like, hey, man, are you all right? Because that's the other thing. Seeing somebody drunk and angry like that out of their 20s, I'm like, life's probably not going your way right now. And that's a conversation to have sober. And, you know, I have empathy and compassion for people who are drunk and angry. Because I'm like, it's probably not in the core, you know? That's not their core. Very few people, I think, are, like, at their core evil, you know? Like, I'm just going to be a menace tonight. Like, nah, it's a sad person that, and we work on that. Anyways, guys, so warm-up song today, trying to keep it themed to the anger and the sadness and the humor, is by Pink Guy, Help by Pink Guy. It's one album. It's on there. You'll see it right there. Artist formerly known as Pink Guy. He goes by Joji now, but this one is Help by Pink Guy. A lot of fun. Listen to it. It's you know, maybe not the best warm-up song for the gym ever, but if you listen to this rant and then, warm up to the gym and think about it. I don't know. Fuck it. It's our playlist. I put it in there. We're having fun. Anyways, guys, I don't know if I made any coherent points. I never do. Never fucking do. I'm going to go get some caffeine. This is me this is 2 cups of coffee today so far, and this is an afternoon shoot. All right. Love you guys. Love the warmies. Let's do it. All right. Okay, bye.